Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Brian Pope. I'm the digital media specialist for Shelby County Schools. And today I want to share with you some equipment that would be a great starting point for a digital media program in a high school or a school PR program. Check it out. Thanks to a partnership that we have with a local mining company named Lawast, we are actually able to provide equipment each semester to a program in one of our high schools. At times we're going in and improving existing equipment, but a lot of times we're actually starting from scratch with a new program. And the equipment that I'm going to share with you today is the equipment that we use in those programs that are just starting. The first piece of equipment we're going to talk about is the laptop. So we actually use the MacBook Pros, the 13-inch. This is basically the entry level. If the budget allows, we'll actually upgrade the RAM on these to at least 16, maybe 32 gigs of RAM. But other than that, it's pretty much the stock base MacBook Pro 13-inch. We do make sure to now get the M1 processor because the new M1 processor is a lot more efficient and makes these things a lot more powerful than the predecessors were. There are two main accessories that we get for the computer, one being an external hard drive. We usually get the Samsung T5 hard drives. I believe they also have a T7 that's supposed to be really good, but these are solid state drives, and we usually get the 2 terabyte option. I tell students and teachers to always save their raw video files to external hard drives, and I would encourage programs to possibly pick up an extra one if they plan to sort of hang on to their footage for any amount of time. But these are great to edit from, they're great to store things on, they're relatively small and very portable. The other accessory that MacBooks need is some type of dongle or adapter. So in this case, we use, this is the Sateki, which is really just one that we found that had a good selection, but it's got HDMI ports, it's got USB ports, it has an SD card reader, which is the main reason that you need this, as well as a micro SD card reader. And then another important feature to start looking for on these, especially if you think you might end up doing any live streaming, is a network port. Not all come with those, but it's definitely handy to have. So if you plan to use a MacBook, definitely recommend some type of solid state that you can edit from, some type of solid state hard drive, and some type of adapter or dongle. The next piece of equipment we're going to talk about is actually a combo kit. This camera that we use is one that I've talked about in past videos, so if you want to know more about this, definitely look at my past video on the best camera for schools in 2022. But we use the Sony A7C. This is what we now provide for our programs, and we pair it with a very versatile zoom lens. This is the 24 to 105 zoom lens. This is an f4 lens, but the versatility, I think, makes up for the loss of apertures. All Sony cameras take SD cards, and the SD cards that I personally purchase and that we use for our programs are the Sony Tough cards. I usually purchase one of the 128 gig SD cards, and these Sony Tough cards are made a lot better than typical SD cards. They're more rugged, more durable, and with the amount of moving in and out of cameras, these are definitely less likely to get broken or damaged. Now, Sony makes 2 different types of Tough cards. You have the G series and the M series. The G series are faster and more expensive, and typically I just go with the M series. They're fast enough and they're much less expensive. If you're going to be shooting video, then one of the most important things to be conscious of is audio. And there are 2 ways in which we provide our programs to be able to capture audio. One option is the Rode Wireless Go 2. This is a really great wireless transmission system. It actually comes with 2 transmitters and 1 receiver, which allows you to put mics on 2 individuals and be able to connect them to 1 camera. So this is a really great option for our programs, especially if you're going to be doing any kind of interview type setup. I'm actually currently recording using the Rode Wireless Go system, and it really is an incredible system, easy to use, and very reliable. An additional audio source that we provide is a Tascam. This is the DR10L. The Tascam is actually an independent recorder, so it actually records to a micro SD card inside of the Tascam itself. So this is a great option if you just want to have maybe additional audio source. It's a great option, especially if you're worried about the distance between your transmitter and receiver, or maybe some additional audio recording you need. This is very reliable and a great option. If you plan to do any kind of interviews, or if you plan to video events that are long and you plan to run the camera sort of continuously, then you definitely need some type of tripod. The tripod that I buy for these programs that I work with is the Neewer N284 Go. So this tripod, but really any relatively affordable lightweight tripod would work for a program like this. This just happens to be the one that I can find on Amazon, and that we've had some pretty good success with. A really important feature of videos is lighting. You really need to make sure that your videos are lit well, and the way that we sort of help our programs do this or achieve this is with a light kit. These are actually LED light panels. Specifically, these are not just bicolor, but these are actually RGB. So these can be any color, but they can also go from being a warmer light or a cooler light. So these are great options, gives a lot of flexibility. If high school programs want to work with some RGB and maybe do some hype video type setups, they could definitely get creative with these lights. This kit actually comes with, I believe, 2 lights and light stands for the lights themselves. One great feature about these lights is that it can be powered with batteries, some Sony NPF batteries, or it can actually be powered via wall outlets. So you can actually plug straight into this. So these are some great options, relatively inexpensive, relatively easy to use, and just a great starting point. Something I always recommend for high school programs to have, and something that I use often, is a 5-in-1 reflector. This is the Cellon's 5-in-1 reflector. The big thing that I look for in these is I want a large one. Usually I get the 6-foot option. This allows for you to use it as a reflector where you have a silver side or a gold side, as well as you can use it as a bounce because there's a white feel that you can have on this. There's also a negative in the sense of a black, so you can actually take away light in that sense. The best thing about this one though is if you're shooting outside in broad daylight, you can actually take the cover off of this 5-in-1, and inside of it is a big giant diffusion panel. And so oftentimes I've had students stand outside in broad daylight, and we'll actually hold the diffusion panel over the student so that it creates a nice shadow, sort of a soft, it softens the sunlight that's going on at the time. So these are great 5-in-1 panels. So that's pretty much all of the equipment except one last piece. You gotta have something to carry it in, and we use the Low Pro BP 450 2nd edition. So this is a great bag. It's a sturdy bag. It really protects everything well. It's also relatively rain resistant. Inside of it, down in the bottom, it actually has a little rain jacket you can actually pull out and cover the bag with. It holds all of the main equipment that it needs to hold with room for more. So it gives room for growth in these programs. It's a great bag and has proven its worth in our programs. Another piece of equipment that we've recently added to this kit is these Pavo Tubes. So this is sort of additional lighting. Pavo Tubes are really great. You can do white light. Also it does warmer, cooler tones. But you can also do different color lights with these Pavo Tubes. And they work really great in hype videos, sports related videos of various types. Students really enjoy using them, and they really do work great. I'm actually currently using 2 Pavo Tubes, one on each side, that actually lights the background behind me. So it's very versatile and very useful. Plus it comes with a great carrying bag that you can keep them in, keep them safe and secure. All right, so that's all the equipment that we actually provide for new programs in our high schools. As you can see, it's a lot of equipment, but at the same time, it's necessary to be able to create professional videos and give our students some professional experience. I will say this, I started off with none of this kind of stuff whenever I first started doing video. And so definitely this amount of equipment can be intimidating, but don't feel like you have to get it all at once. Get a piece at a time and learn how to use it and learn how to introduce it into your workflow. But that's all for this video. If you have any questions, definitely leave a comment below. If this video was helpful, leave a like, consider subscribing if you want to see more videos like this, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks, guys.